Hello, my friends. Welcome to this episode of the Secrets of a Witch podcast with me, Sabrina Scott, where I talk all about life, love, healing, beauty, happiness, witchcraft, magic, mediumship, tarot, all the things. And I'm so happy to have you listening. It honestly means the world to me to have you here as a part of my little space on the good old big bad interwebs, wherever you are, if you're local in Toronto, or if you're in the States where I grew up, or if you're in Australia or France or wherever the hell you are. Thank you so much. It means the world to me to have your time and attention and to be in your ear as you are going about your day, whatever that happens to be, driving, cleaning, grocerying, whatevs. So thank you. So for today, I wanted to have a quick little topic. That's something I've been thinking about. And so it's going to be simple. Maybe slightly controversial, maybe not. But I wanted to talk about how I feel like cynicism is a sign of being unhealed. And I'm not saying that to create this like hierarchy of people and like let's just all go judge each other and like blah blah blah. Like I'm not saying this to create yet another I don't know, like topography that we can use to feel better than other people or separate ourselves from other people or whatever other weirdness that some of us, and I'm sure we've all done it, I know I've maybe done it in the past, we've all done it at some point, these things that we tell ourselves to feel separate from others and feel better than others. And these are like lies because we are, I think, more similar than we are different, no matter who we are. Random person on the street, you know, we all have our weird trauma, we all have shit we've been through, we all have our good days, our bad days, etc. And so I'm not sharing this hypothesis to judge anybody or to push anyone into shame. And so if you are feeling shame with this, just like sit with yourself, like reflect, you know, see what that's about, like what's coming up for you and see why you feel activated by that, what I said. Just like sit with it, you know, talk it out with a therapist, a friend, whatever. But I do feel that, you know, as I've been on this journey, this healing journey to learn more about myself, learn more about psychology, interpersonal relationships, like unlock and unblock myself in all these different ways. I feel like I've learned so much, always learning, and misery loves company. And I do feel like cynicism does come from people still having some woundedness that needs love and attention and care and healing. And so I really am big on thinking that whatever hurts, whatever feels icky, whatever feels sticky, whatever feels like, whatever feels like a weight, that might be annoying as fuck, don't get me wrong, but ultimately it's all about our perspective. It's about, are we going to look at this as a gift, a lesson, a beautiful thing that is revealing to us about where we still need to heal, what we still need to learn? Or are we going to be like, this sucks, blah, blah, like miserable, and like not do anything with that information? And don't get me wrong, I'm not always in the mood to do something about the information, but I do think it's important that we do something with the information. And so these different responses to the world, these different feelings can be gateways to a deeper self-understanding. They can be gateways to deeper healing if we are brave enough to go there. And I really do encourage everyone to do that. But I know for many people, cynicism has become an aspect of their personality, you know? And so it's ossified. It's like, you know, fossilized in a way. And people are often reluctant to let go of these wounded parts of themselves that sometimes they feel comfortable, cozy in. Makes them feel unique. It makes them feel like themselves. But what I'd like to offer is this idea that if you just push yourself over that line, you might see that there's more to you than meets the eye. You might see that there's more to you than cynicism. There's more to you than whatever box you want to put yourself in of who you are. You know? There's so much there that maybe you've not yet unearthed or discovered about you. And how beautiful is that? If you asked me like 10 years ago if I was going to be like a giggly person, like saying positive affirmations and like visualizing and talking about manifesting, I would have said that you were fucking on drugs. But here I am doing that, being that, and you know, it feels fucking great. And I think part of that is I've worked on my trauma so much that I'm healed enough that play with strangers, that play in public feels like a safe thing to do. It feels approachable. It feels easy breezy. It feels fun rather than horrifying. And I remember this one specific conference. There's a bunch of conferences I've been to. I've experienced stuff like this, but sometimes I'll go to an academic conference, and I'm kind of over academia right now. It's a story for another day. But I remember I went to a conference probably a decade ago now, or very nearly that, where, you know, people were doing more experimental ways of presenting information and teaching workshops, and they wanted us to play, like, you know, play with our bodies. Like, I don't mean sexually, but like make weird shapes, do theater exercises, like play with Play-Doh, finger paint, like whatever. And like literally, yes, this is adults at an academic conference, so like people are trying different methods. And I remember whenever that would happen and those invitations would be made, I would always leave the room. I would leave. Because for me, that type of play and vulnerability did not feel even remotely close to being safe for me at that point. And so I was like grumpy. I was like, oh, this is not accessible to people with trauma. Like, play is not accessible to people with trauma, blah, 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 which, to be honest, it often isn't. And I was so in my trauma. It was also recent, and I was unearthing it and just working through it and just going fucking through it. It sucked. That something like that was not something I could participate in. It was unfathomable. But now that I've got a lot more healing under my belt, I've changed so much. And yeah, well, my core personality is still me. Like, I am no longer that grumpy person. Like, I'm happy to do critique, absolutely. But I am able to step into this space of playfulness with way more ease than I've ever felt. And it feels so liberating to be able to play and experiment and wonder and just like be silly and like be okay with looking stupid in front of people I don't know, and just be like giggling like a schoolgirl with someone I just met, like, rather than having so many of my walls up. And it doesn't mean I'm unsafe, it means I am safe, but I have so many more tools and so much more stability under my belt that everything is more grounded. And I could make another episode about that, so I'm not going to go off on a tangent. But all of this to say that if you do find yourself aligned with cynicism and like a perpetual grumpiness and a perpetual complainingness and a perpetual negativity, I would just like to invite you to be curious about that and to wonder what else of you exists beneath that shadow, that surface. Is there a child who longs to play? Is there a little girl or little boy that is just wishing that they could giggle and just play games if it was safe to do so? And that's the beautiful thing about being an adult, is it is safe to do so. We just have to realize it. We just have to create space for it. We just have to step into that healing work to allow space for these different parts of ourselves to integrate. And I truly believe that cynicism is a defense mechanism. I don't really think that is anyone's true, honest state of being that they really enjoy on a deep soul level. Like, I really don't think so. I think it's a story that people might tell themselves in order to avoid the healing work or to avoid facing difficult truths about how we got there. And so if you are relating with any of this, take that time to reflect and think and feel and get curious about your hard edges and allow those hard edges to reveal where you can heal, where you can put a little extra love, care, attention, softness. Okay, my friends, I leave you with that today. I hope that was useful, interesting, resonant. If you think there's anyone that could benefit from what I've shared today, please do send them along this episode. Makes me so happy knowing that my work, my ideas, my experiences are helpful and healing to people. If you're interested in learning more about me and what I do, how you can learn from me or book a reading, whatever, you can email me at ceo@sabrinamscott.com. I've got a few bundles of all of my self-study products, short masterclasses on sale right now in bundle formats. That's hundreds of dollars of sales. So if you're curious about that, again, you can email me at ceo@sabrinamscott.com. Those are not on my website, so just available via reaching out. If you want to book a tarot reading, you can do that just by yourself on my website. If you've got any questions about that, again, just send me an email and I'll be right with you. If you love this podcast, please leave me a 5-star rating, share with your friends. I've also been adding all the episodes to YouTube, so if that's your thing, then pop on over there as well. Every little share, comment, like does help the podcast reach more people and improve the lives of more people. So thank you so much. Much love. And have a lovely rest of wherever in time you find yourself, morning, afternoon, evening, whatevs. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, friends.